So I've done 2 sessions for the Speakers Bureau so far. The first one is on technology doping in sport. That one we've done with some older students in high school and also with community groups like Probus. That's more of a lecture format, but it's been interesting for those who've attended because it's about sports and everybody can relate to one sport or another. The other topic has been on design, coming from engineering, wanting to focus on the design process that engineers go through. Mostly having done that with grade 4s to 10s, about 6 groups so far, 6 or 7 groups. So what we do there is we have an activity around designing a watercraft. We do some testing afterwards, a bit of a competition, and then we talk about Indigenous watercraft design from across Canada, including canoes, kayaks, dugouts, and bullboats. And that is a nice wrap-up and talks about some of the excellent designs that have come out of Indigenous cultures here in Canada. Well, that's a great question, a tricky question. Not sure if there's any magic answer to it, but let's see if we can hit upon some major points. Number 1, be enthusiastic. If you're not excited about your topic, nobody else is going to be, so you've got to be enthusiastic, especially with younger audiences. Number 2, connect to your audience. Now there's a variety of ways you can do that. One would be through activities, getting them actively involved in active learning. Another would be question and answers during the presentation, not just at the end. A third way would be to talk about a topic that's of interest to them. So you can do that a couple of different ways. One would be, say if I'm talking about doping in sports, technology doping in sports, I would refer to a variety of different sports so they could relate to one of those at least. Alternatively, if you're doing something brand new that they're probably not familiar with at all, you got the gee whiz factor going for you, so that's good. With young kids especially, you want to make sure that you're have lots of pictures and less text maybe on your slides, and that you have a variety of activities that you're going through that they can play with and engage with. That would be really good there too. Make sure you talk with the teachers beforehand. You can tie into the curriculum that the students are going through right now. If I talk about bridges with grade 3s, I look around the world and we go to a map and we look around the world and they guess where it is, and they can have fun that way. So there's lots of different ways to do it, but if you follow those general pieces of advice, I'm sure you'll do a great job. Well, first off, it's fun. And that's pretty important. You want to have some fun in your work life, and going out to the schools and talking to kids can definitely be fun. It's also inspiring and rejuvenating because it's a different kind of audience than you're used to. They often give a lot of enthusiasm back, so that's enjoyable. And you get to round out your teaching skills because you're teaching a different audience, different skill set, different knowledge set. So it can be good for your own professional development as a teacher. And ultimately, it's a chance to also promote your profession, your discipline, tell them what you do, and attract them to your area. Well, bringing in an expert from the university, a researcher, a scientist, an engineer, doctor, all those sorts of disciplines, that brings real-world relevance to your students. They get to interact with and ask questions from somebody who's doing that sort of activity in the university. They get to see new things that they've never heard of before. You get a bit of a break. You don't have to plan that hour and a half. You get a chance to work with the guest speaker and make sure that they can dial into your curriculum that you're working on right now. You get to learn some things as well that refreshes and rejuvenates your own professional development. And also the students can see role models that can help inspire them to go in a particular direction in their career. So you get to review them afterwards as well, so you get to help provide feedback to make sure they can improve their teaching skills, and you can help them along because you're a professional teacher. So there's lots of reasons. Everybody wins, And we would encourage you to, there's so many topics covered in the Speakers Bureau too. There's surely something that will tie into what your students are working on, whatever your grade may be.